anywhere, Mum.
I've hidden it, and I think you know the reason why.
Why? What did I do?
Did you set off that fire alarm?
No, it wasn't me.
Fireman Sam is setting up a smoke alarm. Along comes Norman, who knocks over some cans for sale in the shop with his football. Dillis tells Norman to go play football outdoors, but Norman makes the excuse that it's quote-unquote too windy outside. Dillis thinks there was a fire, but Fireman Sam is just testing the smoke alarm. We then see something really rude from Norman, and that's him sticking his tongue out at his mom. Don't believe me? Then look at this.
Norman!
After Norman bullying his mom being revealed, Norman is still playing football indoors, and then he makes the fire alarm go off. The firemen are on their way to check the false fire. When everyone arrives at the cut price shop, Dillis acts that there is a fire. Let me repeat. Dillis acts like there is a fire when everyone arrives at the cut price shop. Fireman Sam realizes that the fire alarm didn't just go off by itself, and then Dillis realizes that Norman is the one behind all this. Brodwin and Charlie are picking up trash. Tom mentions about a fox, and Brodwin states that foxes are so foxy, which sarcastically makes sense. Norman walks into the shop and then says that he wasn't the one who put the fire alarm off. Dillis asks his son if he was the one behind this crime. But Norman says that he is being honest when he says that he didn't make the fire alarm go off. The most ridiculous lie I've ever heard. If I met Norman in real life, I wouldn't trust him because he would just drag me on a wild goose chase and be like he was an alien alert. We then see that same fox that jumped out at Mandy when Norman was looking for aliens. But that was after Norman did all these stuff. Norman is putting off the fire alarm again on purpose. Everyone is coming to see the emergency because they think that there was a fire. Norman says that he didn't make the fire alarm go off, but Fireman Sam tells Norman that he's like the boy who cried wolf. He explains to Norman the story about the boy who cried wolf. But Norman says that he didn't make the fire alarm go off. Dillis then becomes a good parent again and grounds her son for the first time. Because Alien Alert is not a Season 6 movie. And now we see that same fox that jumped out at Mandy when Norman was looking for aliens. Brodwin says that she was trying to make friends with the fox. We then see that fox sneak into the shop and destroy stuff. Norman unfortunately comes out of his room. Like, it's one thing to unground Royce on the same day he was grounded, but Norman? Well, are you kidding me? Dillis thinks that the fox is a wolf. And then Norman has to get the ball, the football. Norman says he can't get to break the glass because he says he'll get eaten, even though this is a fox and not a wolf. Norman gets the ball and makes the fire alarm go off. Because it's a great idea when you want to be rescued from a fox. Everyone comes to the rescue, and Fireman Sam is about to put Norman in a timeout and yell at him, and then they point out the fox that wasn't going to eat them. Let me repeat. Sam and Elvis point out the fox that's not a wolf and is not going to eat Norman and Dillis. Fireman Sam says that grabbing the fox by the neck won't hurt. Norman then apologizes for making the fire alarm go off. But is sorry enough for his actions? Well, he lies to Fireman Sam and says that it was an accident. When he says sorry for doing bad things, we can't trust him, because the next day, he'll just cause fires. Let's summarize. Norman spent the whole episode acting like a mischievous troublemaker and spent the start of the episode playing with his football indoors. He stuck his tongue out at his mom and made the fire alarm go off multiple times just so he could get his football back. Norman lied to his mom about turning off the fire alarm and said that he didn't make the fire alarm go off. Norman then got what he rightfully deserved, but he had to come out of his room because of that fox that they thought was a wolf. Norman had to apologize to Fireman Sam, but then he lied and said that him turning off the fire alarm was an accident. Norman can take a hike. Hello everyone, I hope you all enjoyed that video, and even though I've got 505 subscribers, make sure to subscribe in case I do another subscriber special. Bye.